What's up, YouTube? It's Smasher. Today I'm bringing you a review of Trials Evolution. So, having been a fan of the original Trials game, which is Trials HD that came out for multiple platforms a year or two ago, I was pretty interested in getting my hands on this one this week. And, I wanted to give it a real thorough run through before I put out a review for all of you. For those of you who don't know, it is an addictive platformer from Red Lynx, and I will tell you, it is addictive. This is like crack. So let's get down to the review. Graphics, huge improvement over the first one. I wouldn't call them, amazing by any stretch of the imagination, but they're pretty damn good, and especially a huge improvement on the last game. Sound is awesome. They have a bunch of original music written for this game, and it's not half bad. It sounds great. It's there's some interesting sounds to this game. One thing I will say that's kind of odd is they do like to introduce some odd sounds at times in weird parts of the game. And if you have 7.1 headset or you got a 5.1 surround sound or something like that, you're going to hear some strange stuff coming out of your rear speakers, which is always a interesting thing. So, but for overall, it's pretty good. Controls wise, they did smooth stuff out a little bit from Trials HD. And if you haven't played any of the Trials games, I'll tell you, pretty much all you do is hit one of your triggers or a single button, and then press forward and backward on your joystick. I'm not sure how it works on PC, but it can't be more than 3 buttons there either. So it's very simplistic, but I tell you, as simple as it sounds, it's a lot more difficult in execution. This game ranges as far as difficulty level from, pretty much anybody can do it to insanely difficult. And I mean, just off the hook difficult. I can't even, I'm not the greatest at platforms, so maybe it's a little more difficult for me, but man, some of the tracks on here will just, it's challenging, it's fun, it's great. And I really, if you're up for a challenge, this game will definitely give it to you. So what Evolution brings to the table is it brings new maps, a lot of new maps, and an improved, I guess you could say, user interface as well. So I like how you can access maps now. I think it's a little more interesting. I think that the way they laid stuff out is a lot more ergonomic and easy to access than some of the other, than Trials HD was. And what they did also add to this was they added multiplayer. So for those of you that aren't familiar again with what multiplayer is you're able to play multiplayer with 4 folks, up to 4 people in general, so you plus 3 more. You can play in public matches online, and you can play in private matches if you want to, which is really all I've done so far. I've played with some of my friends in single-player action, or not single-player, but a private match. And I gotta tell you, multiplayer is a blast. It can kind of get confusing as to who's who, but that leads me to the next thing. You've got improved customization on your characters now. You can pretty much change all your bikes, all your the way you look, and everything. And I think what it does do is it allows us to kind of give your character a new unique look, so that when you do go into multiplayer, that you don't look like everybody else. So that's definitely a neat thing in this game as well. They have skill games are back. Now, they got some strange skill games this time. They've got some UFOs you got to fly. They got your skiing down mountains, and, whatever. They're cool. I got to give it to Red Lynx. They created this engine, and they're like, we're not only going to make this motorcycle platformer, we're going to make you platform with all kinds of stuff because this engine's capable of it. And I don't know if they're what engine, to be honest with you, that they're using, but they definitely brought it. They have these user interfaces that are really simplistic and easy to use, and then they have a super intense map maker if you want to get into that. I know that some of my friends really enjoy making maps. The simple ones, I'm down for that, but I just don't have the time to invest into some of these really extensive, intense map making sessions that you're capable of doing with this game. But I am definitely looking forward to playing a lot of user generated content, and I think this game's going to be alive and kicking for a while because of that. So, it's just the map editor is insane, and if you're into making any kind of maps in Halo or any of the other games that you normally play, this is something you may be interested in. So, ultimately, bottom line, bang for your buck, it's $15. Seriously, I mean, it's well worth the money, in my opinion. And you can't go wrong with this. It's got a lot of replay value with the map editor, and with user generated content. I just think that it's just, I highly recommend that you pick it up. If you're into platformers, again, if you hate games like this, you're not going to like it. So, one thing I will say on my last note here, like, if you fall, you can hit B and instantly go back to the last checkpoint, or you can hit whatever button it is on your system. And so it makes falling very palatable. You don't have to reset. You don't have to go back to the beginning of the map if you don't want to. You can, it makes failure easier on you. So, anyways, just that's just a food for thought on the end of that. But go pick this game up. And thanks, guys, for listening. And don't forget to subscribe.